A ceremonial pole symbolizes a variety of concepts in several different cultures. For example, in the Miao culture in Yunnan, China, in the evolution of the idea of God, Grant Allen notes that Samoyeds of Siberia and Damara of South Africa plant stakes at the graves of ancestors. According to Zelia Nuttall in the Fundamental Principles of Old and New World Civilizations, tree and pole reverence to Anu in ancient Babylonia-Assyria may have evolved from the fire drill and beam of the oil press, stating that it was extremely probable that the primitive employment of a fire stick by the priesthood for the production of celestial fire may have played an important role in causing the stick, and thence the pole and tree, to become the symbol of Anu. European festivals that include poles. A maypole is a tall wooden pole erected as a part of various European folk festivals, around which a maypole dance often takes place. The festivals may occur on May Day or Pentecost, although in some countries it is instead erected at midsummer. In some cases the maypole is a permanent feature that is only utilized during the festival, although in other cases it is erected specifically for the purpose before being taken down again. Primarily found within the nations of Germanic Europe and the neighboring areas which they have influenced, its origins remained unknown, although it has been speculated that it originally had some importance in the Germanic paganism of Iron Age and early medieval cultures, and that the tradition survived Christianization, albeit losing any original meaning that it had. It has been a recorded practice in many parts of Europe throughout the medieval and early modern periods, although became less popular in the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, the tradition is still observed in some parts of Europe and among European communities in North America. Some scholars classify maypoles as symbols of the world axis. The fact that they were found primarily in areas of Germanic Europe where, prior to Christianization, Germanic paganism was followed in various forms, has led to speculation that the maypoles were in some way a continuation of the Germanic pagan tradition. One theory holds that they were a remnant of the Germanic reverence for sacred trees, as there is evidence for various sacred trees and wooden pillars that were venerated by the pagans across much of Germanic Europe, including Thor's oak and the Irmischule. It is also known that, in Norse paganism, cosmological views held that the universe was a world tree, known as Yggdrasil. There is therefore speculation that the maypole was in some way a continuance of this tradition. The floor of the Miao Church, Norway, was excavated in 1969, and found to contain the remains of a pagan cult structure. The nature of that structure was not clear. Lidec-10 felt this represented the remains of a building, but a critique by Olsen in the same work suggested this may have been a site for pole-related rituals. A recent review of the evidence by Wallaker concluded that this site was similar to the site in Hove and was therefore likely the site of a ceremonial pole. Pole symbolism in Asia. Korea. A jangsung, a village guardian, is a Korean ceremonial pole, usually made of wood. Jangsungs were traditionally placed at the edges of villages to mark for village boundaries and frighten away demons. They were also worshipped as village tutelary deities. The Middle Eastern Asherah pole is a sacred tree pole that stood near Canaanite religious locations to honor the Ugaritic mother goddess Asherah, consort of El. The relation of the literary references to an Asherah and archaeological finds of Judean pillar figurines has engendered a literature of debate. The Asherim were also cult objects related to the worship of the fertility goddess Asherah, the consort of either Baal or, as inscriptions from Kuntilit, Hydrud and Kirbeelom attest, Yahweh, and thus objects of contention among competing cults. elements. The insertion of pole begs the question by setting up unwarranted expectations for such a wooden object. We are never told exactly what it was, observes John Day, though there was certainly a movement against goddess worship at the Jerusalem temple in the time of King Josiah. It did not long survive his reign, as the following 4 kings did what was evil in the eyes of Yahweh. Further exhortations came from Jeremiah. The traditional interpretation of the biblical text is that the Israelites imported pagan elements such as the Asherah poles from the surrounding Canaanites. In light of archaeological finds, however, modern scholars now theorize that the Israelite folk religion was Canaanite in its inception and always polytheistic, and it was the prophets and priests who denounced the Asherah poles who were the innovators. Such theories inspire ongoing debate. South Asia. In present times in Indian subcontinent several festivals and celebrations, as in Hinglajmatasind, Gudi Padwa, Kathakawadi, Jatrakathi, Nandi Waja, Kumbadev, Nimad Gogaji Temple and Kombeshvari, then in Tripura and in Manipur. Central poles are features in temple and festival settings. According to Adi Parva of Indian epic Mahabharata, a bamboo festival named Shakrotsava was celebrated in Chedi kingdom. Aparachara Vasu was a king of Chedi belonging to the Puru dynasty. He was known as the friend of Indra. During his reign, Chedi kingdom introduced Shakrotsava festival in his kingdom in the honor of Indra. The festival involved planting of a bamboo pole every year in honor of Indra. The king will then pray for the expansion of his cities and kingdom. After erecting the pole, people decked it with golden cloth and scents and garlands and various ornaments. Burmese Khotobo Festival. Khtoi is a Karenni ancient dance and prayer festival held by the men in the Kayan community in Myanmar. In the Kayan creation story, the Eugenia tree is the first tree in the world. Khtoi poles are usually made from the Eugenia tree. Khtoi poles have 4 levels, named for the stars, sun and moon, and the 4th level is a ladder made with a long white cotton cloth. Specific staff gods. In Maori mythology, Rongo, the god of cultivated food, especially the kumara, a vital food crop, is represented by a god stick called Whakopakoko Atua. In the Cook Islands, cult figures called staff gods or Atua Raka from Rarotonga apparently combine images of gods with the human descendants. They range in length between 28 inches and 18 feet and were carried and displayed horizontally.